Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to this service of UU Amherst, a Unitarian Universalist congregation. We are so glad that you've chosen to spend your Sunday morning with us, as we know you have many options and obligations, and we're grateful to have you here with us. My name is April Starr, and I do various things in this community, but probably the most important one is that I am the finance clerk. So I do all the kind of day-to-day money things. Oh, and my pronouns are they and she. Our minister, Reverend Richelle Buhite, is on sabbatical until the end of August. Her evil twin is playing the piano for us this morning. Thank you, Richelle Buhite, leading our service today. Oh no, y'all. Now we have another inside joke going. Leading our service today is the lovely Kim Diana Connolly. Yay. And she's going to offer a few words now.
Good morning from me. If we haven't met, or we've met but you forget my name, which is totally cool, I'm Kim Diana Connolly. I have been a part of this congregation since 2010. I use they, she pronouns, and I am the proud mama of Simon and Tate, who both grew up in this church. Hello to all online and watching later. Thanks for being here. In my day job, I'm a law professor at the University of Buffalo. And outside work, I spend a lot of time volunteering in our Unitarian Universalist community, both here and regionally and nationally. So this summer gave me the opportunity to serve at both the General Assembly of our Unitarian Universalist Association and our Region's Summer Institute. So a few experiences I had there found their way in today's sermon. But it's good to be home. We open with a reading that was written by retired UU minister Alice Blair Wesley. There'll be quotes from her in the sermon too. I link the term beloved community to an understanding of human nature, of how we are made. Under what conditions do human beings strive? Thrive. Okay, I've got to get better at reading for y'all. Under what conditions do humans thrive? We thrive best when we cooperate because we love what we are trying to do together and cannot keep from loving one another. Our loyalty follows from who we love. The only freedom ultimately worthy of the name is the freedom to try and do what we love with the people we love. How could we not love and think worthy and be loyal to a community of people trying to learn the truth insofar as we can know the truth? A community trying to do right insofar as we can figure out what is right. A community longing to treat one another fairly, with respect, with no put-downs and no grudges. A community that tries, at least weekly, to lift up what is very important and precious, lest we forget.
Rose is going to help us this morning. Each week when we gather, we begin with the land acknowledgement. In this rite, we honor our connection to the earth, and we offer gratitude to the only planet in the whole universe that creates and sustains us. We pour this libation to symbolize our commitment to care for this precious home of our spirits, to speak and act on behalf of the earth, and to seek to partner with those who are indigenous to this place, that we and our descendants may also bless and be blessed. It is also our custom when we gather to light a chalice. The chalice is a cup or a vessel that represents the gathered community and is the symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith. Please join me in our chalice lighting words. We gather this hour as people of faith with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning, in celebration of the life we share together.
And as we end our usual weekly gathering rituals, I've added in an element we offer when appropriate, a collective reading of our current congregational covenant. Please join your voices with mine. Together we promise to gather in compassionate community, to celebrate the diversity of thought and unity of spirit, and to seek wholeness for ourselves, our children, and our world. Thank you. And, Reverend Richelle is here, so let's sing again. Our gathering music is Becoming. It's from the new UU hymn, Sing Out Love. It was written by Reverend Mary Gregolia. Let's rise in body and spirit as we join our voices in song.
I'll play the melody first, okay? Then it repeats. Then it changes.
Thank you all for being brave and singing that song. Now is the time in our custom to make time to acknowledge the joys, concerns, sorrows, and other realities that we bring with us, affirming that every single bit of who we are is held in this container and the container beyond of love. We embody this by placing a stone or shell on one of the shared table labyrinths in the front, or the little one in the back of the chapel. This is your invitation to bring your whole self here. Please come forward. I place several final stones in recognition of the joys, concerns, sorrows, and other realities of those who are participating online, either now or in the future. You are embraced in this community.
Such is me.
It's Wonderbox time.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Excellent. Oh my goodness, what do you think is in the Wonderbox? Oh my goodness. Somebody's making a good guess best based on, what's up there. Kind of give a clue. You heard? Yeah, I know. What's in here? Let's make sure that's right. Let's make sure that's right. A paper chain. Oh my, go away, paper chain? No, we're going to keep the paper chain. But let's keep looking at this chain. Can everybody back there see the chain? Wait, what's going on with this chain? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. There's a piece attached to this chain that's only somewhat attached to the chain, right? My goodness. Okay, can somebody hold this part? Somebody hold the end for me. There we go. Stand up and hold the end or be higher. There we go. You want to help hold part of the chain too? Okay, everyone can help hold part of the chain. What's going on here? And then there's this other part. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, look at this. My script is out the door. This is all good. Excellent. What is going on? This part, look what you found. We found a part that's not attached. There's a part that's not attached. So what's going on? Is this what our community looks like? We're not just one big chain. Leave them down there. We're not best. Good job. You can work with those in just a minute. But this is what our community looks like. We're connected. But what about the people who aren't connected? What should we do?
We should connect them.
We should connect them. Right. All right. So who wants to help connect them?
Me.
Okay. A couple people. Okay, now.
Got a paper.
No, we're going to connect just one paper. Where'd the blue paper go? Oh, it's on the floor. Oh, it's on the ground. We're all good. Connecting is hard. So we've got two pieces. Now we need the extra piece.
Where are we going to? Yep.
Where do we want to attach it?
Over there.
In the middle. We've got lots of places we could attach it. Who wants to tape it?
Me.
Okay, we can have multiple people taping. This is a very interactive experience here.
One at a time. We're going to take some turns. This person back here in the black shirt. Why don't
Do you want to take it?
Yay.
All right. You keep that because you're gonna use that later. Your pieces that you have right there. Perfect. And look at this. But wait a minute. Here's a piece of the chain that's not attached at all. Can we attach this one too?
Yeah. I want to.
You want to? All right. Where should we put it? Should we put it at the very end?
I want to put it right here.
You want to put it right here? We're going to do the scissors in just a minute. You can help with those. I didn't plan this as well as I should have. Who wants to tape it?
Me.
You want to help together, both of you?
I can.
All right. So this is our community. It's pretty. It's kind of messy, but it's connected. We're all connected now, right? We have to work to connect people, right? We have to make sure our community is connected and that nobody's alone and no little group goes over there and feels all alone. So we're all connected. But what happens? What happens when somebody does something that hurts somebody? What happens? What do we do?
Fix it.
We fix it! Excellent!
Andy, what a good
Woo!
story.
All right, so we need another piece of tape.
Can I do it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Quinn's
Can I
turn.
do it?
Quinn's turn.
But you chose where we did it. This is so cool.
This is Quinn's getting this.
All right.
Yeah.
Look at this. Our community is fixed because a couple of people understood what they needed to do and connected our community again. Yay! So you're going to go and you're going to take this, and you know what you're going to do? You also all got little pieces of paper, right? You're going to go to your faith development class and you're going to write or draw promises that you want to make to help keep our community connected and strong. And you're going to build your own paper chain, and the people in here who are grown-ups are going to build a paper chain later. They just don't know it. Shh, shh. And then we'll connect the chains after service. But you can take the chain. Everybody take the chain out. So let's sing our children out. Waka waka. Well, that was quite an adventure. I had a whole beautiful script, and then they rewrote it for me, which is awesome and made it so much better, right? Thanks for being here today. Today, I want to open by telling you about something that happened to me this summer, well, that I did this summer, that truly surprised me. Not that I'm writing clever articles in my work life about laws, because, that's another story for another day. Not that I attended General Assembly as a UU Amherst delegate. I'm going to tell you about that, but that wasn't surprising. I planned that. I had to plan it. I had to register and everything. Not that I spent another joyful week at Summer Institute and served there at the Committee on Ministry, because I agreed to that last year. So those weren't surprises. Those things were wonderful. But something that I started last February and finished up at General Assembly was something that I just thought up for myself. I decided to write a covenant, a set of sacred promises with myself. Now that probably sounds a little odd. When I first thought about it, I was like, I've spent my life making promises to other people, to my family, to my students, to my colleagues at UB, to communities that I work with, to congregations like this and people in other UU spaces, but sacred promises to myself? Well, is that almost selfish? Okay, I've written plenty of personal promises before. New Year's resolutions, self-improvement lists, you know the kind. Exercise more, sleep more, write to my relatives more, my godmother especially. She really would appreciate it if I wrote a little bit more. All that is worthwhile. That's not what this is. I wrote an actual full-length personal covenant over 4 months. I thought about it, I meditated about it, I prayed in my own UU way of praying about it. And you can see the top of it. I'm not going to share the whole thing because part of it is very personal. But I wrote, I covenant to live, the first line, I covenant to live with love at the center of my life. I also wrote, I will nurture community by showing up, listening deeply, offering care, and remaining in relationship even when it's complicated. Like that string of not a typical daisy chain that the kids walked out of here with. I will allow myself and others the grace to evolve over and over, knowing that becoming is often more important than arriving. As I worked with these promises over the months, I realized something. Almost none of these promises were really about me. Every one of them made me more available, more patient, more joyful, more compassionate for the people around me and in my communities. So the promises that I made to myself, they strengthen the promises that I make to my community. And I had never thought about covenant growing by making promises to myself. Footnote. Reverend Richelle, who's not here, her evil twin is, and I talked about offering a workshop in which those interested could develop personal covenants later in the year or early next year. So stay tuned for an update on that. So one of the things that I love most about Unitarian Universalism, and those of you who've been at times that I've been up here before know this well, is that we are a covenantal faith. People often say we are bound together by creed, not by creed, but by covenant. We are covenantal, not creed. Creed says, what do you believe? And it tells you what to believe. Covenant asks, how will we be together? This is not a small difference. It's an enormous difference. Beliefs can separate us, but promises invite us into relationship. One of our great youth theologians, James Luther Adams, wrote that a covenant is built on trust, and he used the term affection. Trust and affection. Not force, not fear, not obligation, trust. And he used the term affection. I kind of read it as love. Adams also reminded us in his writings about covenant that communities change the world because people freely choose to bind themselves together for purposes greater than themselves. Alice Blair Wesley, who I read a reading from at the beginning, who I've talked to you and read for you before, who is one of the most influential religious educators and leaders in our tradition, spent her working life helping congregations understand that covenant isn't something we frame and hang on a wall. It's something we practice. We practice. Every meeting, every service, every disagreement, every apology, every welcome. Covenant is how we are together. This is a weird slide. I know it's hard to see. There is this really, I was at a conference in Texas this week, and a professor from the University of Pittsburgh turned me on to this amazing podcast called Ologies. Ologies. Allie Ward has the ologies, like things that people study. Has a whole bunch of experts on. One of the things that she featured recently was a University of Chicago psychologist, Nicholas Epley. Dr. Epley writes on social cognition. On the Ologies podcast, Epley talked about how research has found that most of us underestimate how much other people actually want to connect with us. We hesitate to say hello. We hesitate to introduce ourselves. We worry we'll bother someone. But over and over, the research shows we were wrong. The conversation we almost didn't have becomes the beginning of a friendship. The newcomer we almost didn't greet can become someone we treasure. Just this week, I was in the van from the budget offsite to the airport that I was going to in Texas, in southern Texas, near the Rio Grande Valley. And I was just he said, "What'd you do here?" And I said, well, one of the things I did was I went to this National Wildlife Reserve and I hiked the full trail to the Rio Grande in the 102-degree weather. And I said, which you saw the Rio Grande earlier. Yes, I had water, I had a hat, and then I said, the thing that saved me was there was all these benches in the shade, and I stopped and I rested on the benches, and this man smiled. And he said, do you know where those benches came from? I said, no. He said, my Eagle Scouts built them. And then he told the story of how they had to get approvals and all this kind of stuff. And I was there to think about getting a new designation for this site and meeting with the manager and stuff. And so I told him, this designation is going to take a couple years if it happens, but let me just tell you, sir, that if this designation happens, I'm going to make sure your Eagle Scouts are front and center. Look at that. I mean, I could have just sat in the back bin on my phone in the van, but I had this conversation and magic happened. It's wonderful. In our space, when we talk to people, when we make one welcome, when we initiate one conversation with somebody that we don't know well, instead of hanging out with our besties, when we make one invitation, hey, do you want to go do this outside of this place? When we make one promise and keep it, that's covenant. So this summer, I actually had the opportunity at General Assembly to serve as lead of the covenant team for General Assembly, which had a studio site in Kentucky, but was all over the country. So I was talking with people all over the country who had satellite sites. It was a very intense and interesting process. So I was the lead of the covenant team, co-lead of all the care teams. You can see our little sign, which was, annoyingly enough, just across from where the pool was. But I was in the room. Anyways, that's a little aside. Sometimes people ask me, what does the GA Covenant team do? Honestly, our best work is invisible. We help people feel welcomed. We held an orientation for newcomers. When conflicts happen, we work with compassion with the people who are experiencing them. When everyone knows someone is paying attention, then we've succeeded. Thankfully, we had the quietest General Assembly covenant teamwork that I've ever done, and I've been doing this for a good number of years, which is exactly what we hope for, because covenant isn't about fixing problems. I'm trained to do that. I can do that. Covenant is about having people buy into the community that co-creates itself, where people naturally care for one another before problems become crises. And so that made me wonder, what if UU Amherst became known, not because we never experienced conflict, but because everyone knew that when conflict inevitably came, it would be met with love, deep respect, compassion, and a shared commitment to connection and repair. I'm going to read that again. What if UU Amherst became known, not because we never experienced conflict, but because everyone knew when conflict inevitably came, it would be met with love, deep respect, compassion, and a shared commitment to reconnection and repair. When General Assembly finished in Kentucky, I came home, unpacked for a little bit, and then repacked. And when I go to General Assembly, I take bins of stuff. So I repacked my bins. We have our family bins. Headed off with Tate and Simon. Here's a melange of pictures. Summer Institute is held at Oberlin College. It's a gathering of the Central Eastern region and people who are other UUs or UU curious who come together, hundreds of us, for a week full of joy, music, laughter, morning worship, workshops, playing hooky and going somewhere else, hanging out, singing in the pub, all sorts of fun stuff. There's RE there, and the kids there's a picture of a SI rock. People get rocks from the ferry. There's lots of things that we call magic. We talk about SI magic. And if you've never been there, I'm kind of telling you things it's hard to explain. There's music drifting through the halls late at night. During the day, you're walking somewhere and there's children racing across the lawn, surrounded by adults, and not necessarily their own usual adults, but other adults who are making sure that they're safe. Strangers who become friends over a series of breakfasts. Conversations that start and then continue for years, 1 week at a time. Simple joy of singing, learning, laughing, creating, worshiping together across the generations, from the babes in arms and with the people using assisted movement. So this year, I spent much of the week with the Central Eastern Region's new lead, Tyler, helping run conversations, 6 different ones of those, about the future of Summer Institute. And one of the things we were asking people was, what do you value most about this space? People spoke about what they treasured most: belonging, true welcoming, intergenerational community, music, friendship, love, joy. If you want to see, I have lots and lots of things that we could, I have a slide that shows in a word cloud. And so people refer to this as SI magic, but I worked, so that's the next slide. So these were the things that we held. So we talked about magic, and I listened to these 6 sessions with people who'd been coming since forever and people who were there for the first time, talking about why they were there, what they believed, what they were looking for in community. Is this thing we called SI magic magic? Or is it something else? Over the years, and really concretizing this year, I've come to believe that what we call magic at SI is actually something so much more ordinary and much more powerful. It's thousands of promises. Promises to welcome the newcomer, promises to listen before speaking, promises to offer help without being asked, promises to stay in relationship when things become difficult, promises to apologize, promises to forgive, promises to keep showing up. One promise by itself may seem small, but hundreds of promises, thousands of promises faithfully lived, they create something absolutely extraordinary. They create true community. They create true belonging. They create trust. They create all this joy, sometimes amid sorrow. They create something that we sometimes call magic. And so we talk about that at Summer Institute and at General Assembly. Sometimes we mention things like that here, but let's think about where else we see it. In our families, among our friends outside of this space, and in our community right here, our community online, the community of people who are connected with us, maybe not in this space today, but they consider themselves connected to this congregation. Communities are not held together by buildings or budgets or committees. I mean, those things are important. Thank you to those of you who do those. Communities like ours are held together by promises. Promises made, promises renewed, promises repaired, promises lived. Which brings us right back here at home. Picture up there, actual tapestry back there. Over this past year, our congregation has been engaged in something both simple and profound. Together, we've been reflecting on the congregational covenant we read together earlier. We've talked about what it means. We've wondered whether the words still reflect who we are and who we are called to become. We've listened to one another and shared ideas about some potential changes with care. And this fall, we will complete that process of renewing our covenant together. This is not because our current covenant has failed. It has not. Not because we're starting over. No, we're continuing because promises matter enough to revisit and be revised to reflect where we are now. Think about the promises that matter most in your life. Friendships, family, partnerships, work friends, sometimes people online. Those promises are not spoken just once and forgotten. They're updated and renewed over and over again through the choices we make in a particular day and over the years. Covenant works the same way. It's not simply something we wrote years ago. It's something we must continue to choose again and again and again. Meanwhile, also this fall, we're going to begin another aligned, important conversation. Alongside renewing our covenant, we'll begin creating something new together, a shared guide with a little more detail to help us when we fail one another. Because sooner or later, every community does. Sooner or later, there's not maybe as deliberate a cut as I made, but there's something in the chain up here. I'm hoping you'll go back with me to the time. We cut the chain, it fell apart, we put it back together. But every congregation experiences misunderstandings. Someone's feelings are hurt, and impact may not reflect intent. Someone feels left out. Someone says something they so wish they could take back. Someone leaves a meeting carrying a burden no one else noticed. That isn't evidence the covenant has failed. It's evidence that we're human. The question has never been, will we make mistakes? The question is what we do after we make the mistake. Do we turn away, or do we turn toward one another? Do we defend ourselves and what happened? Or do we become curious about what others experienced? Do we keep score? Or do we seek understanding? Covenant asks us to become people who know how to return to each other with honesty, humility, and love. That is the work of our promises to each other, not to avoid conflict, not pretending everything is fine. I'm conflict avoidant. I don't like dealing with it, but we can't just pretend everything is fine. And we don't always agree. But we stay in relationship long enough to seek understanding, long enough to listen, and then even longer to repair, long enough to remember that the person sitting across from us is never a problem to be solved. They're another beloved human just trying, just like we are, to find their way. So let's think back to the time for all ages today. Remember? I know it was a long time ago. When you walked in, everyone got a simple strip of paper and a crayon. Do you still have it? Does anyone not have one? Can we there's a couple people, Ray, keep your hand raised and somebody will bring you a crayon and a strip of paper. There's 3 or 4 people who need them. So, those of you online, please follow the instructions and write in the chat if you're live online, and a person will translate it to one of these strips. People watching later, please imagine or jot down your ideas to help you feel connected. On your slip of paper, I invite you to write a few words of a promise. A few words of a promise. Not a promise to be perfect, not a promise to never disappoint anyone, just one positive promise that you want to help shape the person you are becoming in this community that we are becoming together. Perhaps it's listening more deeply, being more courageous, doing more welcoming of newcomers, assuming good intentions, speaking honestly, speaking kindly, asking for forgiveness when you've done something that hurt somebody, offering grace, keeping showing up. Or perhaps, like me this summer, it's a promise to yourself that will ultimately strengthen the promises we make to one another. So I'll give you a minute to think and to write your promise on the piece of paper, should you choose. If this is a really weird thing for you, that's okay, you don't have to, but I'd love for you to. Because we're gonna then come up and make our own daisy chain in the front. So take just a minute and write.
This community or with everything at large? Just here. Maybe to be more trusting, I don't know.
How are we doing out there? Your one promise alone is important, but linked together, our promises become stronger. They become a visible reminder that none of us creates beloved community alone. We do it together. One promise, one act of welcome, one conversation, one apology, one kindness, one repair, one link at a time. Not the words we just write today. Let's hope they become promises we live. And so we're going to come up together, come up in like organized lines like you're coming up to do the labyrinth. And then you're going to get help from people who are going to help us tape these all together. All of our promises into one big link. The kids are doing this in faith development, and we're going to link them together afterwards, after the end of service. So please come forward with your sheets of paper, or if you want somebody to come get yours, we can do that too. Just raise your hand. May these not be simply words we write today. May they become promises we collectively live. May these promises continue to make us a congregation where love is at the center, where everyone belongs, and where repair is always possible, and where together we can continue creating beloved community. May it be so. Ashe, blessed be.
If you would please join us for our song and response that is found in the teal hymnal number 1023, Building Bridges. And please feel free to rise in body or spirit and join me in singing. Please feel free to be seated. As our service draws to an end, our service to the world is ready to begin. Please remember to take your your little slip of paper with you. If you wish, there's announcements on the back of various events that are coming up, even some this week. And if you don't want to keep it, please put it in our recycle basket at the back as you go out. It is now time for the offering, when we respond with generosity and care for this beloved community and our hope-filled faith. We give because we know we pick fruit from trees we did not plant. We drink water from wells we did not dig. And this is as it should be, so long as we dig and plant for those who come after us. The offering will now be greatly received. We began our service with the lighting of our chalice, and now we extinguish the chalice, not to quench the flame, but to return it to individual hearts, strengthened by this time spent together, so that we can share our light with the world. Please rise in body or spirit and join your voices with mine as we extinguish the chalice, and then we'll sing our blessing. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our heart until we are together again. Travel light and travel easy till I see you once again. Travel light and travel easy
pictures there were from the Rio Grande where I went, and this chalice is the SICOM, this Committee on Ministry from the Central Eastern Region's chalice. So thank you for being here. From Reverend Alice Blair Wesley's Lay and Liberal Doctrine of the Church, the Spirit and Promise of Our Covenant. We human beings are promising creatures. We are born with promise, potential. We are also promise-breaking creatures. Our local church covenant needs to be as clear and explicit as we can make it, that we may invite others to join us in making and renewing again and again our promises of loyalty to the ways of love that matter most in human life, that we may fulfill our promise. Go forth centered in love. Our wonderful pianist, Richelle.
That was really quick. Very well.